ain't gonna, just relax, all right? I want you to get somewhere where you're comfortable. I want to make sure your brain can listen to what I'm about to say. Get into bed. I need everybody's attention. Where's that fan? Can we turn that fan off? How do we turn it? Where's Ben? Where's Ben? Ben, how do we turn these fans off? I come in here last night hitting breakers and everything was arcing, sparking and everything. Couldn't.
Now look here, these other electricians, I'm telling you.
How do we turn them fans off? Turn them off so I can hear.
It turns the lights off at the same time.
Yeah,
Is that fan running in it? Tex? Is that fan running above you? Good. Thank you. Good deal. Morning, everybody. Morning. Thank you for coming. Of course, Dave's work, supposed to come to work, right? But you ladies coming, thank you for showing up early this morning. Some of you guys, we got a lot of new faces around here, and I'm going to say some stuff that maybe the guys have been here have already heard, and but just bear with me. I think it's worth hearing, and so I wanted to share a little bit about this company, about who we are, where we've been, where we're going, and what's happening. All right, and I'm sure some of you guys are concerned about this meeting. What are we doing? Is it the end of the line, or is it just the beginning? Right? And that's what I'm about to share with you, and it's really up in the air. But just wanted to let you guys know that probably in 2015, October 2015, we started this company, and I came from a little bit about me. You guys maybe not know about me, but I was raised in south of Detroit in a little Leave It to Beaver town. You could almost see the skyscrapers of Detroit where I was from, but we lived in a little bitty town, and my dad and mom were from the Depression of southern West Virginia, coal mines in Kentucky, the poorest of the poor. And Dad had a chance to go to Detroit and make a living for himself, like thousands of other people did back in the 40s after the war. Took me up there. Well, I wasn't born yet. I was born in Detroit, born in Michigan, and raised in a southern home. My dad fixed pork chops, gravy biscuits, cornbread, you name it, beans, taters, you got it. I was raised in a southern home. When I walk out the door, I got Catholic Midwestern people that I just didn't know who they were. And I was a half-breed kid. I come from a southern-speaking home where my dad was a coal miner and rougher than hell. And my mom was a factory worker and busted her ass and cut her left finger off during the war building planes and stuff like that. They were hard-working, blue-collar people. It was difficult being in a place that I didn't feel comfortable in, didn't know what was wrong with me because my folks were different than everybody else in town. But I navigated through that and figured out who I was and where I was going like we all do. My dad drank a lot. He made whiskey, moonshine. He ran moonshine when he was a kid. His dad ran moonshine. His dad ran moonshine. They were all coal miners. You go to Harlan County, Kentucky, the hardest place probably in this country, that's where they're from. That's where I'm from. But my father didn't raise me in that part of the country. He left that because he wanted something better for his family. And that's why he had me in Detroit, in a Midwestern town, thinking that's where the money's at. That's where Henry Ford made cars. That's where there's steel mills that created the country. And that's where he went up there to work in a steel mill and leave the mines to have a better life. So I was raised up there. I didn't have a silver spoon. I had nothing. I had the best education, nothing. I went to school. When I was in grade school, I couldn't read that well. I don't know why. I just couldn't read, couldn't concentrate. I think that's 99% of the guys in here. And ladies, when I say guys, I mean ladies too, but when I address you guys, it's everybody here. But I had a hard time in school, and I played ball, played sports, was never good at it, never started, never was on a winning team, nothing, right? But I always worked hard, and at the end of the season, I was always a coach's award. And you guys heard this. I was always the best player for the coach because I was the one that started early, left late, and worked the hardest. Got through high school. I was told I'd never go to college. Tried to take the entrance exam. They told me to go be a carpenter, go be a welder, go do a tradesman. I didn't know. I didn't know how to do any of that. I didn't know how to weld. I didn't know how to be a carpenter. I didn't know how to fix cars. I didn't know how to do nothing. Zero. All you guys are light years ahead from where I started. Light years. And this job is creating that for you. I didn't have that opportunity. I wanted to drive a tractor for the city of Flat Rock, where I was from, and I didn't know how to drive a tractor, but all my buddies were mowing grass for the city, and it looked like a pretty cool job. So I went to this old man on this farm, and I knocked on his door because he had a tractor out in his yard. And I said, hey, would you teach me how to drive that tractor? And he said, yeah. I got on that tractor, and he said, this is how you do the PTO. This is the bush hog. These are the gears. And he let me run around his farm for about a week. I went up to the supervisor of Flat Rock. The supervisor hadn't even applied yet. I knocked on his door and I said, sir, I'm applying for that job to run a tractor for you all summer. He said, I want to let you know I just went and learned how to drive a tractor. I'm the guy you need. He smiled at me. He said, bring your application in. I'll see you Monday. Yeah, I knew now, after years later, he was super impressed with me because I didn't know damn nothing, but he knew I had a drive in me that I was going to be there every day, and I never missed a day's work. I never missed anything, and I drove that tractor, and I got that job, and I bush hogged all summer around my little local town. That was a dream job for me to have. I remember bush hogging a complete field, and when grass was almost as tall as a tractor. And there was pollen and stuff coming in and snot coming out of my nose. I couldn't see. My eyes are itching because of all the stuff coming off that grass. And a big wasp come out of there and stuck to my nose. And I looked down at that wasp, and he stung me right on the end of my nose. Oh, my God. It felt like somebody took a ball bat and hit me right in the face. And I just kept mowing, and I mowed that all summer. And I wanted to go to college because I didn't want to sit. I walked in the city of Flat Rock, and here's all these men, been working there for 30 years, and I'm 18 years old, and they're sitting on sofas at 7 a.m., and they don't get going to about 8:30, and they quit at 2, but they stop at 4, and they go back to their sofa and sit. And I thought to myself, I don't want to live like this for 30 years. I don't want to come into a place and sit on a sofa and watch the time tick and wait till I can't get home to go back and sit and watch TV. That's what everybody did. They couldn't wait to clock in and clock out. And I said, you know what? They told me, they said, man, we'd love to have you to work for the city of Flat Rock. That's 30 years in and out, full benefits, full everything. I said, no, sir. I said, I can't do this. There's a world out there waiting for me. And I want to take it. And I left that job of security. And I tried to go to college. And I failed. I'm almost a D average. And I tried. It wasn't like I was partying. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. It just wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. And I don't know why. I had to back out of college. I didn't quit. I just backed out. 3 years later, I ended up getting married, and I didn't have anything. I was married to a woman that had a career and had an education. And here I was working for $250 a week trying to learn carpentry. I didn't even know how. I was pushing a shovel, and I'm 25 years old. So I said, I met a guy that was a school teacher, and I just looked at him, and he had a wife and kids, and all the kids at the high school come to his house, and he loved them, and they were playing ball, and they had a big family, and the door was wide open, and there was kids running out of his house all day, and I just loved that. I thought, man, that's what I want. I want a life like that. So I went to college. I walked up to the college, and I said, I had been there 1 year before and failed out, but that's the only college in the country that would allow me back in because I had spent 1 year there. So it didn't matter how bad my grades were, they just wanted my money. So I went back in there and I told the supervisor, I said, hey, I want to be a teacher. And I said, I don't care what subject I teach, I just want to get a hold of some kids. That's all, I just want to see some kids' faces. I don't care what I teach. How can I get out of here in 2 years? I didn't care if it was science, math, cooking, whatever it was. He said, well, it looks like here you can be an industrial arts teacher in this many semesters. And I said, what's an industrial arts teacher? He said, that's a shop teacher. I said, shop, wood shop, metal shop, all that. I said, good God. All right, I'll be a shop teacher, whatever that is. I didn't even take shop in high school. I took one shop class in 7th grade, and that's the only shop class I had. 2 years, I stopped my first semester. He said, well, here, don't you take one class, here, 2 classes. And he said, don't take more than that because you haven't been in college in 3 years, and the 3 years before that, you failed almost every course. He said, I'd suggest you take 2 classes. I looked at him and I said, sir, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in college, and I'm not college material. I said, I got a schedule here. There's 64 classes, and I got to take these many classes to get out of here. I said, I don't like being here. He said, son, good luck. So I took 14 credit classes, 14 credits. It's about 5 classes. He told me to take 1 or 2. I went to my first class, and I'm like, what am I doing here? They're talking about stuff. I had abnormal psychology. I had to have this kind of English, and I had all this stuff, and I, oh my God. And so I used to work out, tried to work out a lot before, and I think that's why I failed, because I worked out so much with this couple buddies of mine. I remember when I went to the gym at the college, and I sat down on the bench, and I looked at a mirror, and this was just before class started, and I looked in the mirror, and I looked, and I said, what are you doing here? Where are you going in your life? Are you going to change something in your life to not repeat where you've been? That's what I said to myself. I looked right in the mirror and I said, are you going to fail again, Randy? Are you going to fail class again? What are you doing? You're doing the same thing you did before. So me sitting on that bench was my habit. What's your habit? Is it drinking? Is it eating? Is it eating late at night? Is it watching pornography? Is it reading magazines and books and being lazy? What is your habit that keeps you from shooting to the stars? Is you getting mad at your wife or your girlfriend or resentful of your past? Are you mad at the world because it messed you over? Well, I looked in that mirror and I said, it's time that I take something different and I got to change. And it was hard. I got up off of that bench and I was 25 years old. And I never went back into another gym. I never worked out again for over 20 years. I walked out of that gym and I walked straight to my apartment, concrete floors with my wife of a newly bride, and I started studying. And I studied harder than I'd ever studied in my life. I would go to a class, and when I listened to that guy talk, the professor, I didn't know hardly what he was saying. And I'd take notes, and I'd write as hard as I could write. And I'd read everything he told me to read, even though it was hard for me to read. I read so slow. And I'd highlight things, and I went back and I rewrote my notes, rewrote my highlights, and then rewrote my notes again. I'd rewrite them 2 and 3 and 4 times before I went back to the next class. And by the time I got back to that next class, I knew everything by heart what he said that day before. And I had to do that with 5 classes a week. I was studying from 7 in the morning till 2 in the morning, 7 days a week, never stopped. That first semester I got done, I walked up there and I looked at I got my grade card and it was posted on the wall, straight A's. And I was told I'd never be anything. And I made the dean's list. And I'm 25 years old and I'm standing around about a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids. You talking about humiliated? Yeah, I was. I was in there. Here I was from a southern family in a northern town, always feeling awkward, and I got straight A's, guys, because I changed. It took me 25 years to get this in my head to change. My vices were not drinking, smoking, and in the world of habits. It wasn't that, but it was as bad. My habits were different than yours, but it was the same effect. It messed my life up until I got serious about what I wanted to do. I was somebody that was never, ever, 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 ever going to do anything in this world. That's why I don't give up on you young boys. When you young boys come in here and you do stuff and you mess up, you got so much grace with me. Because you're not going to be the same you are in 5 years from now. I guarantee it. And hopefully this world won't beat the hell out of you by the time you get there. Hopefully you won't see the hardships that a lot of us have seen. Okay? I look back at my life and I was nothing what I was 5 years later. But it's because I changed the course of my life. Whatever that is. And I'm not talking about this company. I'm talking about your personal life. I'm talking about when you wake up Saturday morning, you're like, you know what, I know I should get out of bed, but I'm going to lay here. Or I know I should go help my wife or girlfriend or my mom, but she can handle it. No. You got to challenge your life, challenge everything you do, challenge it to the nines to where you change, man. If you love where you're at, great. But I'm telling you what, I've been in here for 63 years, going on 64 in April, and there ain't a day in my life I don't like who I am. I want to change. I want to be better. I want to be a better person. And from everything, from the way I look at God or whoever made this world, right, to how my body feels, so I can be stronger, faster, better, my brain so I can be smarter, so I can learn more. I want to learn more still. As much as I was when I was 25, you're looking at the same guy, the same drive, the same force that I've had since then. And I have a responsibility now to all these people that are here and all the Amish that are in Kentucky. There's over 13 families. And you know they all got 10 kids, right? There's another 130 people up there. And then all the people that live in this community, and then all the people that bought our homes. They're all relying on me when I wake up in the morning, my eyes open up. And that's on these shoulders right here. And I've chosen to take that on. But I know if I don't get out of that bed, and I don't comb my hair, and I don't take a shower, and I don't come here looking halfway refreshed, I think you guys are going to be disappointed in me. You're going to be disappointed that Randy is not serious about his job. You rely on me coming here being ready to go. I'm your leader. And I'm talking right now. I am your leader. I understand that, and I take that on. And I won't disappoint you. I'm here to drive and push myself and this company to the nines. When I was growing up, I've been humiliated publicly. I've been cut from ball teams. Amanda was talking about how she was cut from ball teams. Mentally, it's hard to stay who you are and stay confident because we're all beat down. We're the hardest people in our life. We're harder on us than anybody else. You're not handsome enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not big enough, you're not smart enough, you got little feet, you got little hands, you guys are beady. There's something wrong with us, right? We're all flawed. That's the worst thing, guys, to do. You got to build yourself up. You got to feel like who you are. I don't care if you're short, you're tall, you're skinny. I don't care what you are, but we got to believe in who we are, that we're good people. I've created a situation here that I've failed to get you guys the position you need to be. I think there's some jealousy in this company. I think there's some confusion about where you're going, confusion about pay. There's confusion about how you're going to get to a higher level of pay, confusion about who's your boss, what that boss is responsible for. I think, and the people who think they're a boss are not acting like bosses, and I apologize for that. And I'm going to restructure this place. If you think you're a carpenter, you may not be a carpenter when I get done. You think you're an electrician, you may not be an electrician. You think you're a supervisor, you may not be a supervisor. Whatever you're doing, I need people that are willing to change whatever you're doing for the goodness of this company. All right? I'm going to give you just a little bit of a scenario. Where's Micah? Where's Micah? Is he here this morning? Micah. There he is. We really don't know this gentleman. I didn't know him that well. He came in His mom and him was in Nashville, and I met him in Nashville. He's homeschooled, and just a gentleman of a guy. Just stand there, you all know him. He'll stand there, greet you with a smile, handshake, always the same. I said, good God, yeah, come on, I need you. You're a soldier. Come on here and let's see what happens. He brought his ambulance. He's sleeping out here out back. Never heard a word from him. He was conducted himself really well, and I said, man, you're handsome, you're tall, and you talk good. You got to sell homes, right? So I put him up there in sales. We needed him down here, and I'm trying to figure out what we need at sales, what we need here everywhere. We bring Micah down here. He went from sitting behind a desk, answering a phone, in an air-conditioned and heated office, and he's working in the panel room where nobody wants to work. I've not heard one word out of that boy. He hasn't come to me and said, Randy, I don't like this job. Randy, I'm not going to work here. Randy, this is hard. I'm a salesperson. I need my air conditioning, my heat. He didn't do any of that. He routed and routed and routed, didn't he, Chris? He's a beast. And you know that he did not complain to me? He didn't come to me and say, hey, this isn't what I'm cut out for. I'm heading back to Nashville. Boy can work anywhere he wants. I mean, he's pretty, he's smart. Been in Hollywood, I think. Yeah. But think about that. He sees the bigger picture. He wants to be part of the bigger picture. He's self-motivated. He didn't come to me and complain. He did it. That's what I need out of everybody in here. If I tell you to quit being whatever you think you are, you're some high level here, and I tell you to sweep the floors or go work on a car, I'm not doing it to degrade you. I'm doing that because it's needed to be done. We need to do everything here. Your job is if you got pride in here, you're not going to make it. If you think you're somebody in here, you're not going to make it. I want you to love who you are, and I want you to love this company, but we are a family that we have to have not pride that'll hold us back. I'm up in that office, and I had a gentleman yesterday tell me that I'm limited. You don't have this talent. You don't have that talent. Where did I hear that before, right? I said, okay, that's fine. I let him talk. And I didn't let my pride yell at him. I didn't let my pride tell him, you just shut up. You don't know what I've been through. I own this company. We're going to the rocket, moon, stars. We're taking off. And you're telling me that? Nope. I just let him talk. And I thought to myself, there might be some nuggets in what he's saying. I'm going to listen and try to pull out the good stuff. When he got done, that's what I did. I wrote down some good suggestions he thought about, and I didn't let his comments affect me. What am I going to do? Take 64 years of challenges and lessons about who I am in this life and just throw them out the door and get mad at somebody on the phone who tells me I'm not good enough for something or I'm limited? That's about learning about life and remembering all your lessons you've been through, right? And using them for your good and not showing your ass about how stupid you are and how prideful you are. So whatever you're doing in here, I'm trying to set the tone. Amanda told me today, she goes, Randy, we need a hierarchy. You need your boss, supervisors, workers. I've never worked in a factory, guys. I've been self-motivated since I come out of the womb. All right? I've been self-motivated. But I know we have to have some hierarchy. The only hierarchy I know right now today, the only hierarchy I know right now, and you guys know I love Tom and Amanda and all this stuff and all that. But you know what? They look to me. The only hierarchy you got right now is me. And that's just because I paid a light bill. When we walk out that gate right there, you guys, we're all eye to eye. That's what James said. James said, right now, he said, I'll follow you into the pit right now, Randy Jones. We get out that gate, we're buddies. I said, you got it. We got to have it. So right now, I'm the guy. I need you to honor what I come up with. And I'm going to come up with some stuff. Things are going to change. I promise you things will change for you all for good, for the good, for the pay, for whatever I got to do to run this company. But at the same time, don't you ever feel that you're owed something more than a paycheck when you come in here. You're not owed anything else but a paycheck. I'm saying that because I have never asked for anything where I've worked more than what I've agreed to. This is my paycheck, it's what I want. You don't get anything else. You know how I made anything else? I did it on the side. I did it on my own. If I didn't like where I was at, I'd either quit and go to somewhere else or make something happen. And I don't want to get off course here, but the thing is, there's enough scrap panels, stuff that we throw away to build houses with, to build sheds with, to build opportunities for you guys to make extra money. There's so much work around here for you guys to do that you can double your salary. But nobody comes to me on a Thursday night or during the week and say, Mr. Jones, I want to take that opportunity and try to do some more work around here for you and this company, for me and my family, and to get ahead. You know, the only person that did so far to me is Billy. Billy came to me and he said, I need a house. My trailer's falling down. He said, what you do for me? When Billy came here, Billy was like, we thought, you know what? Billy's not right in the head, is he? We all thought, you know what? He ain't right. There's something wrong. I looked at Billy and I said, what can you do, Billy? Billy said, you give me a chance, I'll do anything you got. Anything, you tell me. I said, all right, let's test him out. I gave him something to do. I'm telling you what, he knocked it out. I mean, perfect. Tom looked at me, he said, that surprised me. And I said to Billy, I said, let's go to the next thing. And you all know, Billy, whatever we've given him, has excelled at it. He's never come to me and complained. He's just like Micah. He does exactly what I say. Gave me a license plate the other day, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
With my logo on it. He has honored this company. You know why? I'm going to tell you something right now. I bet you any money, and this is we're being truthful here. Don't tell me that man ain't been through some mess.
Yes, I have.
Don't tell me that man hasn't had a childhood from hell. Don't tell me that man right there will get choked up. He's had it hard. You know where he's from? Tell him where you're from. Kentucky, right where my dad's from. He's had it hard, guys. So when I walk by Billy and he irritates me to hell, Randy Jones, and screams at me like that, I got to smile because I just think the world of Billy. He's different. I love him to death. And he's proved himself hard. He's proven himself to be an employee here. He'll take on anything. So don't judge a book by its cover, boys. Don't do it. There's some golden nuggets in here that'll give you a life lesson. All right? So even though he laughs real loud and says crazy things, I'm glad he's here. Okay? And that's what I want this company to be like. You never, ever, ever, Braden, I don't know where we're going in 5 years from now, but I guarantee you that your life, you will never work for a company like this again in your life. You will never meet men like this again. And anything that you guys do in this company, and if you're here a year or 3 years, whatever you learn here will take you to the rest of your life. You'll remember this when you're 70 years old, sitting on your front porch, stroking that dog sitting by your feet. Okay? You'll remember this, Braden, and all you young boys. Because I'm going to run a company that's different than any other company that you've ever been before. And if you've never been in one, I think that's the best. You're getting groomed right here. You all know Daniel, come from Mexico. He's from California. Wrote me an email. He come here and didn't know nothing. He's been a soldier. He's built 2 homes for his family. He's taken care of his mother, his sister, and himself, and he paid for them. Paid me for him the material. He paid me for the materials. He saved them up. He bought him a truck. He came here and didn't even have a driver's license. He's got a driver's license now. He has turned himself into a man to go somewhere. And I did not tell him anything. He did it on his own. He's seen an opportunity, and he did it, and he's a soldier. He come in here, he said, I want to do something, Mr. Jones. What can I do? How can I make it? And he figured it out and went with it. And he paid for everything. He didn't get nothing for free. I helped him out on the rent. And you know what he's done? He's lived in my mom's house that died in it, and he's fixing it up. Payback. Perfect. That's what we need, guys, to change this world. I'm going to tell you right now, from Amanda's backyard, where we started, one house, you guys maybe not know, some of you younger guys and new guys in here, we started this company in Amanda's backyard in Morristown. Her and I didn't have anything, no money, no job, no nothing. And she said, Randy Jones, he goes, have you seen these tiny homes? I was building sheds, I was building everything, and there was a tiny home. And I said, good God, I can build that thing in a week or two. It's so small, it's 16 feet. They're selling for $60,000. We didn't have any money. Of course, you guys know this. Went over to the Oak Salvage over on Cumberland. Told the guy, I said, hey, if I clean up your lot, will you give me all your scrap wood? Listen to me. That was 10 years ago. I'm 54 years old. Where are you going to be in 54, Braden? You hopefully not be sitting, going to a salvage yard in a beat-up old truck and asking if you can have all this shitty wood. Hopefully you won't be there. But I was. And I walked up to him and I said, can I clean out your back lot? He said, yeah, and you can use my truck too. I said, well, good, because I don't have a truck. So I took his flatbed and I cleaned up all the awful wood. He said, my only thing to you is you haul everything off. Don't you leave anything here. That's my only obligation for you to do. And I hauled it all off, and I took it all over to her house, and I spread it all over her field, and I bet you I took up an acre. There was pressure-treated lumber that were rotten. There was 2x4s that were rotten. It was awful. I bet you if I took an acre, I only used probably 25% of what I had to haul out of there. And I called Tom after I got, he looked at there. I had a guy pulling up in the backyard in a pickup truck that sold me used sinks, windows, plumbing supplies, used. He got that off of streets where people were throwing them away in Morristown on the side of the road. We would clean them up and put them in the house and sell the house with used faucets, windows, doors, insulation. I took the insulation out of her attic, her floor in her basement. Took it out of her house and put it in a tiny house. To build a house, guys. That's where this come from. And then I went through it, and it was so much horrible, horrible wood and stuff that it just was crumbling in my hand. I had to cull through. I went through cull to cull to cull. I didn't have tools. I didn't have a saw. I didn't have a sawzall. I didn't have nothing. Wayne Justice, the older gentleman that comes here, he let me have some tools. I couldn't afford them. I lost business years ago, 5 years before that, and lost everything and struggled. Economy was awful. There's a way of making it happen, guys. That's where this business came from. From that, I built one, put it on a little bitty website called Tiny House Listings for 1 penny. That's all they required. I sent them a picture of that thing. I put $19,999, whatever what. Sold, boom, one day. People call me from Durham, North Carolina. They said, yeah, we'll take it. And then that was Memorial Day. This Memorial Day, I celebrate the beginning of this company on Memorial Day. I built that thing, and a friend of mine, and him and I grabbed a U-Haul truck. I had no truck, no way of transporting it. Got a U-Haul truck, no insurance, nothing. Hooked to it, and I said, let's go. Never even pulled it, and it was on a used trailer my buddy had. 36 miles an hour on I-40. Boom, 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 boom. Just like this, all over the highway at 36 miles an hour. Amanda's behind us. I'm driving this. Well, it was Amanda and David. We're almost to Bristol, and I look in my rear mirror, and here comes a tractor trailer on the left lane, and he's barreling down, and here's this sports car coming, and he's going. I said, God, here we go. This is it. And I can only go 35. That tractor trailer's locking them up. And I see smoke running. That big, it was a BMW. He come, just like this, man. Everybody's stopping because I was going so slow. Had blinkers on. She had her blinkers on. I thought she was going to get killed. And everybody, that tractor trailer scooted on the rails, and it was just dust flying. And then that BMW, I thought was going to do a 360 right there. And he grabbed a hold, and they just went, boom, 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 and it was over. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to die. We just started, and I got to go to Durham. And I'm going 35 miles an hour. It took 12 hours to get to Durham, North Carolina. We got there at midnight and got in a hotel, and it was summer. It was hot. Memorial Day is hot still. So we get a hotel the next morning. It was 95 degrees, and it was on a Sunday. It wasn't Memorial Day. It was Memorial Day weekend. Sunday, hot. We go there, get down to the street where I got to back this thing in, and the driveway was just fresh with gravel, and I sunk down in the gravel and got stuck. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, had to unhook the truck and had to go to, what's the supply over there in Moorestown? They got pulleys and jacks and all this stuff. Harbor Freight. I went to Harbor Freight and had to get me a come-along, one of them clickers. Had to get me chain, everything. There was a tree in the backyard wrapped around the chain. I had to have chain 70 feet long. Click, 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 inch at a time. It took me 4 hours just to get out of the gravel into the backyard. Then I finally got my truck and hooked it up again and then backed the trailer into the backyard. And the backyard was like this, on level. I ended up backing that thing in there with that truck, right? And now the house is like this. It's just 16 foot long, and I got to jack that whole thing up like this. When I got it jacked up, it was 4 foot off the front and touching the ground in the back. And it was just wobbling like this. I'd never jacked up a tiny house. I said, okay, David's sitting there with me. It's hot, man. It's 95. I'm sweating. I'm working hard. We got there at 6 in the morning. Neighbors everywhere watching me, homeowners watching me, everything like this. And that house started wobbling, and it went kaboom and broke every block underneath it. I'm back down on the ground, and I've been there 8 hours. And I ain't had nothing to eat, had nothing to drink, and it was hot, and I was like embarrassed, and I had all these people. You know what happened? I remembered being raised in a family up in Detroit that time and being humiliated before. I remembered being told I was never going to be anything. I remember being told I would never accomplish nothing. And them experiences came out in me right there. And I was sitting there and I knew I had been humiliated before. I had been told I'll never succeed. I was told I would never make it. And that's when I said to myself, let's go get some more block. We're going to do this. David said, how are we going to do this, man? He goes, we've been here 8 hours and we're still not even at the first level. We're going to make it. I took that come along and I took it around a tree. I hooked it to that house, and that house is not going to move anymore. That ass end is going to stick back there, and we're going to jack it up, and it can't roll down the hill anymore. I'm going to figure this out. We had to go get more block on a Sunday. Come back, cleaned everything up, put it up. The homeowner's worried, did it break anything? Did it break? I said, hey, if it broke anything, I'll fix it. Just let me get the same level. I got that thing jacked back up perfect. Took me another 3-4 hours. I'm talking, now it's getting dark. Been there all day. Hadn't eaten nothing, hadn't drank nothing, had done nothing. I was just a frenzy of work. Finally got that thing done, completed at 11 p.m. People brought us in there and in their house, real nice young couple, and they were giving me cash. And I was like, man, gave me cash. And they said, and I told them I needed $1,000 for delivery because I couldn't afford the truck, and they paid me back for my U-Haul. When I was sitting there, I was thinking how grateful. Just thinking about this. I've been there all day, 12 hours. It took 12 hours to drive there, 12 hours to put it together, and then I got to drive back home that night because she's waiting for me at the house. I looked at those people, and I took that money, that $1,000 that was going to pay for the truck, and I said, I want you to keep this $1,000. I said, you keep that. You know what? Because they were just a young, starting up couple, and I said, take that money and build a deck around that house. And I said, I'd love to see how it looks like one day. I said, you guys have blessed me with buying my first home. And I said, This money here is more money than I've ever thought I'd ever get. It was $19,000 cash sitting there, and I was like, man, what a blessing. I was thinking how blessed I was, and look how hard I had to work to get that first house. And I was happy. I was like ecstatic. I drove home that night in that U-Haul truck. David passed out, and I was so excited. Couldn't wait to get home. I was like pumped up about this. I just sold the house, man, and I overcome that thing breaking, and it was a Sunday, and it was hot. And I was like, I just felt like I won the Super Bowl. Most people probably look at that and say, good God, what a day. Lord, mercy, I'll never want to do that again. I wanted it again. I said, bring it on, and I went and bought more materials, and I want to build another one. This is where we're at. This is where we're at right here today. That right there, that mindset, that energy, that everything is why we're where we're at right now, guys. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I don't know how to get to the next day. But what I'm not scared of, I'm not scared to fail. And that's the biggest thing. Babe Ruth hit more home runs than anybody, right? But what else was he king of? Striking out. He struck out. My buddy Danny here's from Michigan. He told me this morning Michael Jordan was cut from the team in his high school. Senior. He was in high school and got cut from the basketball team. Michael Jordan. Tom Brady. Told he'd never be anything. Greatest quarterback you ever seen. Told him he'd never be anything. He didn't have natural talent. You know what he had? He had grit, and he wouldn't stop. He had workability. Guys, I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to tell you what's going on in this company right now. I'm going to restructure everything. I'm going to reevaluate everybody in here, me personally, with the help of probably Tom, and that's it. And I'm going to figure out, I'm going to give you guys a good place to work. I'm going to give you a hierarchy of pay scale. I'm going to tell you where we're going. I'm going to tell you how we're going to get there. And I promise you I will do that, all right? I'm going to ask for some things from you guys too. May not be possible, but I'm going to ask you. But we are right now, and this is the news of this company. We're at, from the backyard, we're exactly where a company needs to be. We have every single opportunity that a company could have. We're at the pinnacle. We've always said, we're climbing, climbing, climbing. We're almost at the point, right? We're just reaching up over the top. Yeah? We're at the top, guys. This is it. We're at the top. We're right there. Now we're teetering like this. Do we go backwards? Or we go down that hill and we destroy the world and we become something? What's up to us? Lowe's called me. Lowe's called me and said, we got 2,600 stores. All of them are yours. It's up to you to put the houses in the store and sell them. It's like somebody telling you, you sell cars, you can have this free car lot, and here's all the advertising. You just have to bring your cars and sell them. It's up to us to want to sell our homes in the Lowe's part. He said, take any Lowe's store in this country. We're thinking about Detroit, LA, Chicago, any of these big Lowe's stores. We can put a tiny home in there and we can market it and sell it any way we want. It is the answer to any merchandise. It's like paying the Kardashians to sell your eye makeup. You're going to sell overnight. You're going to be billionaires overnight if you do it right. Or you'll be the laughing stock of everything and lose everything you have. We can do one store, or we can do 2,600. And that's where I need you guys to know what we're going to do. All right? We're at the pinnacle. We do things different here. I'm going to make it happen, guys. You know how we've done it? Is you see this guy right here being open and honest about everything. I'm honest to the world about these homes we built. I'm honest to where I've come from, what I do. I make mistakes. I've made mistakes. These homes are not perfect. They're going to have mistakes, right? We fix them. People know in the world that we make mistakes. There's nothing perfect. But we're going to try, and we're going to try, and we're going to show the world that we're going to try to be the best company there ever was, and we're going to die trying. And you know what? If we go out of business, by God, we gave it our best shot. We killed it. We did the best I can, and then you guys can go on in your life. You young boys, you're going to have these stories the rest of your life. I'm telling you right now, you're on a ride you have never seen before. All right? We have a chance. We've done everything. We've come to the point. This is it. There's no more, James, there ain't no more reaching. It's here. Now it's time to perform. It's time to do what you guys have come here to do. We're it. This is done. There's no more looking, Brian. There's no more. Everybody, there's no more saying, hey, we're going to get to this point. You're at the point. Bart, we're here. We're here. Do you want that inventory perfect? John is here. John's doing the inventory. We hired a guy from Chicago. He's here. He's got the inventory. John has got all the details. A small escutcheon or a 90-degree PEX. He's got it on every single house. Thousands of products. And boom, there's the price of that house. Boom, this is the labor of that house. This is the overhead. This is the cost of travel. We got it. We got everything you want. But do you guys have the mental want to? And you may not. You guys must say, look at this guy, he's screaming, hollering, I'm going to go home. Hell, he's foolish. That's fine. You won't be the first one that ever said that to me. I'm not here, man, I'm here to change the world. I'm here to go, and I'm here to shoot to the stars. I ain't got nothing else to do. What do you guys got to do? I ain't got nothing else to do. What are you going to do? We come here, you guys take a couple days off. Aren't you itching to get back to work a little bit? Aren't you itching to have something to do?
I didn't know what to do Friday with myself.
Yeah, you don't know what to do on a Friday if you don't have a wife and kids, responsibility, and all this stuff. Man, you want to work. We want to work. So when you come here, work. And it's not just working. It's like do more than work. It's like if you see something that needs to be done, just say, hey, man, I'm going to clean, or I'm going to, it'd be better if we had this over here or that over there. That up there is just not, it's taking too much time, or that looks unsafe, or let's do something, right? That's what we need, guys. You need to own this. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to prove it to you. You're going to make some money here, but we got to produce homes. We can't live with 3 a day. If I got to build another building, we build 10 a day. It's coming, guys. It's coming. And everybody wants this job right here. You know why they want? They want my company. You know why they want it? Because it's so simple. I had a guy tell me yesterday, he said, you know what your problem is? He said, you got people in your company. You need machines doing what them people do. I didn't say unto him. In my mind, I'm just the opposite. I want people. I want you guys. I want your life. I want your problems. I want your energy. I want where you're wanting to go in this world. I want to know where you're from. I want all that in here. That's part of being a human being. And you know what? Machines are taking over the world. AI is taking over, aren't they? They can't hang a door. You can't teach a computer or a robot put down this flooring or run pipe like Slate does. Put the PVC in there. It's not a 3D printer for all that. I love it. It's about hard work. It's about being, and ladies, it's about being men. We got to be proud of who we are. Proud that we have a trade. Proud of the fact. I'm going to tell you something. I started out as a carpenter at 30 years old. I didn't know nothing. I built my own house. I would not tell myself I was a good carpenter, and I had built hundreds of log cabins. I've tore everything out of a house, jacked it up, you name it, I've done it all. But I would not call myself a seasoned carpenter until probably 10 years ago. I had over 25 years in the trades. You will never learn this trade. It's always challenging. If you think you've learned it, then you've stalemated yourself and you're not looking around, because every house out there, the guys that get to go repair them, I've went to Texas. I've been to everywhere fixing our homes that are bad, and I've repaired them. And I got it down to where I was challenging myself. I can tear a roof off the house. I can tear a window apart. I can re-insulate it and repaint it in a day. By myself and done and out the door and on the highway. I have done it, guys. That's why I love these houses. You can tear them apart and put them back together. And if you guys don't have a challenge in your mind to do better and tear these things and make them work and get them out, if you see a screw that you put in there and it's got a ripple, pull it back out. It's coming back on us, guys. You put these things together on the bottom and it's rippling across the bottom. You don't put a skirt board, even though none of them have a skirt board. Well, we need a skirt board because it don't look good. Because there's going to be some mom, some grandma, because most of ours are ladies, are going to look out there and they're going to see that. And we want to make sure that when they look at our houses, they're proud of that house. Okay? Guys, this meeting was to encourage you, is to tell you who I am, who this company is. I don't know how to be any more real to you. I don't know how to be any more honest to you. I've told you before, but I want to tell you that I am available, physically available to talk to. If you need to talk to me, if you have anything you need to say to me, I want to always know that you can come to me and talk to me, the owner of this company. All right? I am not at some higher level. I'm more comfortable right on this floor working. But I have to take on the responsibility of the trajectory of where this company's going. I got to talk to big shots. I got to talk to Lowe's. I got to talk to these guys. And it's not comfortable for me. But I'm going to change, and I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out how to navigate through this. And that's what I need you guys to do. I need you to navigate. More so than anything, I want you guys to change your life. I want you to be better at whatever you're at. Anything. There's how many guys in here have quit smoking, I swear, since Matt's died. There's been, look at all the people who have quit smoking. Talk to Nick. Where's Nick at this morning? Nick is, Nick quit drinking. He quit smoking. He's totally trying to live a whole new life. That's hard to do, man. Guys, that's what I'm talking about. People trying to change to be better. If you got a temper, work on it. If you're too temperamental and you get your feelings hurt, anybody says something to you, let's work on that. You're too emotional, let's back off on that. Let's get some help. All right? All that stuff. Most of it's in our ears, between our ears. We got to change most of it. If you don't think you're handsome, we need to work on that. All right? You're all handsome. You're beautiful. I'm short. I've lost 1.5 inches of my height, and I got a crooked spine. But I still keep trying, right?
Still beautiful, Randy.
I'm beautiful. That's right. Thank you. But all of us fight that. I want you to, everybody, Tex is probably the most handsome man in this whole entire building. Okay? I love him. I love Tex. I'm going to close with this, guys. I need you. And you got my word that I will do all that I can to take care of you all and to be fair and to be honest with you. And I'm not going to be perfect. There's going to be times that I cannot get to it. There's times that I'm going to just not do the right thing just because I didn't think of it. I've made a mistake. I don't need resentment. I don't need you to be mad. I don't need you to be pissed off at me. I need you to come to me and you need to talk. If you do not do that, it's your fault because I'm giving you an open door right now, right? And we can talk about things. But the biggest and most important thing, you can tell me, but the biggest and most important thing is we go back to what Micah, I gave you an example of Micah, an example of Billy. Do not have the pride that's going to have you come up to me and tell me that you've done this, this, and this, and this, and this, and I deserve to be here. That ain't going to get you anywhere. All right? You got to just listen. You can talk to me and tell me what your concerns are. I see and I know because you got to believe in who I am as a person. And that's why you're here, is to make money and to believe in where I'm going and what I've done, right? That's why you're here. Jesse, they've offered him to go back to Clayton's making almost a double than what he's making. He said, I'm staying here, boss. He said, I love this place. He can make more money at Clayton's, but he stays here. I think there's some other guys who've been offered more money and they stay here. Yep, you've been offered more money. I'm going to try to get you more money, and I want to be fair. I want to be fair. He's had cancer, and we helped him out. He missed days' work. We paid him. Didn't even know him. This guy's history right here, turn your hair. Brian, his history, turn your hair. The things these guys have been through to be here, unbelievable grit. I mean, I'm talking warrior kind of stuff, man, that should be books written about. That they've made it through and they're still breathing. It's unbelievable, some of the guys in here, the stories they've been through. And I respect that, and I want to help that, and I want to tell you that I never forget those things. Okay? Amanda, you got anything you want to share before we go? So, you know, I'm an emotional dude. My weakness is I cry a lot, I think. And as I got older, my boys, and I got family, and I got kids, and everything gets to you, you know? Been through a lot, man. You look back at stuff, and it's just, life can be hard, guys. I just don't want it hard on you if you don't have to. I just look at you young guys, and my heart goes out to you. I want to help you. But we got an opportunity, man. This is a big gap. I don't know. I can't tell you as soon as I quit talking and direct everybody individual. I can't. There's too many of you. But I will come. Tom and I, we're going to revamp this entire place. So what I need you to do when I get done here, I need you to go to your stations, and I need you to work, and I need you to take a couple minutes of what I just said today. Don't just throw it out. If you got to take 2 minutes just to regroup and think, get together with some guys. Get together and talk a little bit today. I want you to build relationships here. I want you to take time. Think about this. Think about if you guys got together on the weekends, just the wall section. You don't even know each other. Get to know each other. George is real quiet. He don't talk to anybody. We got to get to know George. What's he doing? You know, Slate, we need to get rid of him. He just needs to not come. He only comes on Monday. But what about you guys on a Friday night getting together, a Friday morning having breakfast together, just the floor guys or the wall guys or the electricians, and say, hey, how can we do better, man? What do we got to do, and have a little powwow and have breakfast? That'd be awesome, right? And then you come to me and say, Randy, you know what? We figured out this thing. We've knocked 10 minutes off this thing. We've knocked 30 minutes off of this. We got this problem with electrical, and we're going to show you what it is. We got the walls. These drills are awful. I can't stand these drills. I can't stand the trim or whatever it is. We need a walkboard, a ladder. Randy, I had an idea. If you could put this here or that there, that's what I want, guys. That's what I'm talking about. We get up, Jessica, you're cleaning. What do I need? Do you need help? Do I need a step ladder? Do I need heaters in the winter? What do we do? What do we want? How do we get them out of here? If we're taking 20 minutes to clean a house, we need to get it down to 17 minutes, right? Danny told me again this morning about Henry Ford. Henry Ford invented the assembly line, right? It's the same thing every day, guys, and you become professional at it. You become efficient. Can you guys build walls out here? How can we build them faster? I don't know. Let's figure something out. It's not always just more people, but there's a system. Do we bring the walls and have the panels sit here where they're closer to grab? I seen guys yesterday walking way over here, grabbing the window, and walking all the way over there and putting the window in. That's a waste of time, right? Maybe we could put all the windows closer to where we need them. We used to use jigs, patterns that we'd sit on the wall, draw them out instead of having to take a measure and a level. We've gotten away from some of the things that I instilled in the first beginning of the assembly line. And that's what I want to go back and try to help you think. But you guys got to think on your own. You got to think, man. You got to think. You got to be better at what you are and make this company. That's how we're going to get 3.5 houses out, 4 houses out, 5. And we're not working any harder. We're making a whole lot more money. And that money will come back to you guys. I promise you. I will have meetings with you, and I'll tell you where we're at financially and how we're going to get there, okay? All right. I'm done talking. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this company, and I'm just telling you, you got my word that I'm here, okay? I won't let you down. Anybody got anything to say? Anything? All right. I wish I had this motion picture where music would come on and then smoke would come on and then I could leave the stage. But it doesn't happen, guys. This is real life. All right? Thank you. I'll keep you posted about Lowe's, what we're doing, where we're going, and I'll keep you posted what's going on, okay? All right.
I want to thank you for letting me be part of this family.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here, buddy.
Like James said, I'm with you to the freaking end, dude.
We're going to
I
ride
mean
it
that.
till the wheels
I
fall
mean that,
off.
man. I really mean that.
I know.
Wholeheartedly.
Thank you, buddy.
I love you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for everything you've done, man.
You're welcome.